We'll call the meeting to order. Councilor Gilmore will do our invocation and pledge.
We'll pray. Father, we honor you for this night, God. We ask you to have reign over this meeting, God. Let everything be done in order and decency, God. God, we thank you for this city and everybody here, God. And as we go into this meeting, we thank you that you accompany us along the way. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. Attention, salute, and pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Cora, would you call the roll?
Councilor Gilmore,
Here.
Woodley. Here. Stone.
Here.
Roden.
Here.
Boatright.
Here.
Beatty.
Here.
Mayor.
Here, and we have a quorum. All right, move on to citizens' comments on non-agenda items. Residents may address the council regarding an item that is not listed on the agenda. Residents must provide their name and address. Council request comments be limited to 5 minutes. Did we have anybody signed up? I didn't see the list.
There wasn't anyone.
Just for the public hearing, right?
Is there anybody that was not signed up that wants to speak?
Larry Crawley.
It's here for the public hearing.
For the public hearing, that was the only one. Okay, anybody else? All right, we'll move on to consent agenda. Consent agenda is all matters listed on the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the city council, will be enacted by one motion. There will not be separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. Anybody need anything pulled? If not, I'll take a motion to approve. Motion, Councilor Beatty, second, Councilor Gilmore. Cora, would you call the roll?
Vice Mayor Beatty.
Yes.
Councilor Gilmore.
Yes.
Woodley. Yes. Stone.
Yes.
Roden.
Yeah.
Boatright.
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes, and the motion carries. Move on to public hearing. All persons interested in any ordinance listed under scheduled business shall have an opportunity to be heard in accordance with Article 2, Section 212B of the city charter. Tonight we have 4. We've got one on a rezoning from I-1 to I-2, one for the budget, one on airport fees, and one on railroad operations. I'll take a motion and a second to go on public hearing. Motion, Councilor Gilmore, second, Councilor Beatty. Cora, would you call the roll?
Councilor Gilmore.
Yes.
Beatty.
Yes.
Woodley. Yes. Stone.
Yes.
Roden.
Yes.
Boatright.
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes, and the motion carries. We're now in a public hearing. Would anybody like to speak on the rezoning from I-1 to I-2?
I'm Patty Hobbs. I'm the planning coordinator, or planning tech for the community development department. And you guys have, what?
We're in the public hearing, is that what you
Oh.
wanted to talk about? Or do you wanna do it at the,
The scheduled business?
scheduled business?
Oh, then I will do that, sorry. I'm a little
It's okay.
not used to it. Okay, thank you. Does that mean the applicant needs to talk at this point if they would like?
He
Okay.
wants to.
Only if they want to.
Okay.
And you'll have an opportunity at the,
Oh.
If there's no one on the rezoning, do we have anybody on the budget? Seeing no one, do we have anyone on the airport fees? Seeing no one, do we have anyone on the railroad operations? Seeing no one that would like to speak on the public hearings, I'll take a motion and a second to close the public hearing. Motion, Councilor Roden, second, Councilor Boatright. Cora, would you call the roll?
Councilor Roden.
Yes.
Boatright.
Yes.
Stone.
Yes.
Beatty.
Yes.
Gilmore.
Yes.
Woodley. Yes. Mayor.
Yes, and the motion carries. On the scheduled business, item number 1, discussion of possible action to
I'll come back.
approve an ordinance amending the general zoning ordinance and accompanying map thereto known as general zoning ordinance number 1843, a change in the classification of zoning district of Block 2, Block 188, and the city of McAllister from Illinois, South McAllister, Pittsburgh County, State of Oklahoma, from I-1 light industrial to I-2 heavy industrial.
Okay, so this was on the agenda before, so you might have already read up on it. So I was just going to see if you had any questions or, any questions concerning it? The applicant? I would like to say though that, I have spoken with the applicant, and if I-2 is not something that you would consider, but possibly downzoning to maybe C5 might be a consideration. They are willing to use the auto sales as their primary, job, and then using the accessory would be the towing and recovery. They have mentioned in their planning commission meeting that wrecker was not really what they liked being called, because that's only like a little bit of their job is, you know, getting wrecked vehicles, and then they fix them up and sell them. So they're really wanting to be able to sell vehicles, and then, and there's nowhere in the code that it actually says recovery or towing. It only calls it wrecking, and wrecking's only allowed in I-2. But automobile sales is allowed in C4 and in C5, and the accessory use could be towing or recovery. Not wrecker, because that's only in I-2, but that would be something I would look into maybe considering.
Is there a staff recommendation?
That was my staff recommendation, did not say that, but I mean, since things have happened, not since, but you know, since we've had time between the two meetings, that could be a consideration.
So it's I-1 right now.
It's I-1 right now.
And they would be open to taking it down to C4, C5.
Yes.
And it does not
And-
fit with I-1 because of the record?
Yes, and if they went to I-2, it would, the sales part of their wrecker business would, to be able to sell what they brought in and fixed up, that would be an accessory use in I-1, you know, so they can sell what they have, but they can't wreck it, you know, or they can't do the wrecker business in I-1.
And the main issue with the recovery is the storage portion,
Well,
Yeah.
the record,
just the
Yeah.
record.
yes, is outdoor storage of damaged and, it's that, I'm pretty sure you're gonna have some words to say about this, but you don't, okay.
I do.
So
It would make sense to me, as the recommendation on my side, that we run that route, and the reason I say that is because, the C category fits into the comprehensive plan. The comprehensive plan for that individual site is a C, a commercial district. And I don't believe that what he's doing is record. I don't think that at all. I don't think that's what your intent is, and I'm trying to save you and a whole lot of other people around you some heart grief over this. I believe that C5 or C4 even in auto sales does allow for a tow service to go out and pick up cars that, and every one of those auto sales places has a tow truck. So, yes? If I'm speaking out of turn, sir, you need to set me straight. Okay.
Does this require another set of letters to send out to people if we rezone it C5? Because we were gonna we sent letters to zone it heavy industrial. Do we need to send letters, or if there's any
So-
objection?
It would essentially be starting over for the zoning. The only zoning for you is from I-1 to I-2. We can't call an audible and do C5, C4 the like tonight, because we have told the public we will consider a change from I-1 to I-2. So if we're gonna.
So
with
we'd
that
have to
direction,
start over.
It's a starting over the process, yes, sir.
Counselor Stone, did you have some comment?
These are they've got like the cleanest lot in the whole neighborhood. It's amazing. They've already put their screens up around where they keep the cars, it's kind of been a highlight of the neighborhood to go see the wrecked cars and go, golly, how'd that happen? But, no, they keep it mowed and everything. And also this is a very small lot. The corner where they store some of the cooler vehicles that they're working on, that's an I-1, and then the only I-2 is just their shop and that little small lot where they put the wrecked cars when they bring them in. So even if it was heavy industrial, it's not big enough to really, for a big smoky plant to come in there and do some stuff. And it's not even big enough if somebody later on wanted to put an actual salvage yard in there, you could get 10 cars in there.
Yeah, it's only 19,000 square feet.
Yeah, and part of that is shop. I mean, it's a 3-bay shop?
5 bay.
5 bay, yes. But, anyway, so I don't have a problem with the I-2, you know, but if it would fit better with the comprehensive plan, and it would fit better, okay, with your plans, that might be the
Well,
way to go.
and it's part of the future land use map, and so
Yeah.
that's a living, breathing part, so, you know, if like the planning commission and you guys see that that might not be the direction it's going, cause you know, that's all along that railroad.
Yeah.
It's a living, breathing document that can be updated if you see it, you know. But I also know that we're trying to preserve residential, so, you know, that's why the future land use map shows it that way. But, I mean, there's not a whole lot of difference per se between highway commercial and industrial, other than the uses that are allowed in there.
What's the time frame if we start the clock over and do the C4, C5?
They would have, I mean, technically I could do that this week, cause or next week, cause I have until August 2nd to do the publications and to do the application process over again. So we could, I mean, technically he could be on the August planning commission. It's just, I know that they're waiting on getting their auto sales, licensure. Sorry.
I actually have it. I sold the property it was at. It's in limbo right now, and I can't sell the car.
Can we maybe come to the microphone, please? The name and address.
Larry Crawley, 806 North Page Street. So actually, I had Blackbird Motor Company down here for years. I sold that property, was gonna move everything in. That's when I found out that this dealer's license would not go there with the zoning. So my dealer's license is actually in limbo, and I can't sell cars because it's not attached to an address. So the only 3 cars that I own are in Texas, being sold somewhere else. If anybody has any questions for me, I'll be more glad to answer any of them.
So would you be open to us doing it this way and keeping it in the C, commercial?
So this was the first I heard of it. Now, my old property was C5, so I don't see a problem. As long as the record business and the dealer's license can be there, I'm happy. That's all I want to do.
Recovery.
Yeah. I call my wrecker a record, but but I also look at wrecker as dismantling cars, and that's not what I do.
So
These
do
cars
we
have to
make
stay
a
there
motion
30
for that?
days before they're mine. When they're mine, they're gone. If you don't come get them in 30 days, they're gone. So you see a car sitting there, by law, it has to be there for 30 days, and it's gone.
If we wanna, so council, if you wanna push to try going back to the table and doing a C4 or C5, you would have to, either not make a motion or, deny the motion and kick it back. So,
Which is the most helpful for him to get his license to be speedy?
If anything, if I can show the state that I'm working on this,
yeah.
that anything that, it looks good enough for me to show to them, to hold on to it, because I'm still paying all my
I mean,
insurance.
we can make the recommendation, the council can make the recommendation to deny based on an improper use. And say, we believe that a C5 or a C4 may be the most proper use for that.
Okay.
And that would be, in the minutes, it would show
Okay.
that we're pushing
Perfect.
you towards that.
Perfect.
Would that work for you?
That'll work for me.
Okay. If that'll work for, I'm just
Mhm.
trying to help facilitate.
So just for the record, we would be looking for a motion to deny the change from I-1 to I-2 because it doesn't seem to be with the comprehensive plan and not the best zoning, and that we should kick that back to a C4 or C5 to planning commission.
If I would say that, yeah.
I would make that recommendation.
Okay.
Council, if we can, I certainly don't want to mislead the applicant, so I'm trying to quickly make.
Microphone.
I don't want to mislead the applicant or the council, so I'm trying to quickly understand the difference between C4, C5, and I2. The code is written at present allows for auto wrecking in I2 only. It allows for auto sales and service in C4, and it allows for auto service stations in C5. I'm trying to quickly get up to speed as to what those distinctions are.
But it also allows automobile sales and truck sales in C5.
Yes. The distinction I'm trying to understand is what is the nature of your business? Because that will determine, does that constitute a service? as far as automobile sales and service.
Would you come to the microphone?
If you look in your agenda packet, he has a narrative that he has written for his application, and it describes what his business is. But he's welcome to talk about it too.
What was the primary use when you were talking earlier?
It-
Would it be auto sales or your primary use?
If it was in C5, it would have to be auto sales as his primary use, and then the towing and recovery would be an accessory use.
Correct. Is that what you see as auto sales as your primary use?
Yes, but when it was gonna be the I-2, it was gonna be vice versa, but with C5 or C4, I think it's gonna have to be the dealership first and then.
Have you obtained or in the process of obtaining a record license from DPS?
I have a record license.
And counsel, that's what I'm trying to reconcile here. If this activity is a record license under state law, how is it not also record of services under I-2?
I think it's primary business is what we're debating.
His use is not, he's not taking other people's cars from vehicle accidents on the highway to take them back to a shop or to his lot for disposition. What he's doing is taking vehicles that he's either, I'm assuming, purchasing or recovering.
No.
Impounded.
So we are on the police rotation, highway patrol, turnpike, county, PD. We pick up wrecked vehicles. They come there, the insurance company pulls them out.
That's record service.
But are you holding those vehicles on your lot?
I'm holding those in my impound yard, correct?
Where's your impound yard?
Right next to the building.
You just sold the vote. Because if you're doing it, he's right.
Is it
Even if it's
possible?
My understanding was is that what
possible
you were
to-
doing was taking these vehicles, fixing them to sale.
No, they're not my vehicles.
Can we realign the usage, like to go back and to say within I-1 that it already is, can that type of business be included in I-1? Because it seems like I-2 has a very, like.
The
That
problem
would be
is-
land development
Land
code.
development, okay.
Yeah, that would have to be a reform of the land development code.
Okay.
So what he's specifically done and here is that he's describing a licensed record service, and the only place that can be is in an L2.
Even as an
I-
accessory
I-
use?
Sorry.
Even as an accessory use?
Yeah, if his primary is auto sales, and record is secondary.
But you would still have to hold your wrecker license to be able to go pick those up, even if auto sales was your primary.
Correct. Not the state. Anything that goes in that yard comes from, police. And that's it. It's either impounded or it's wrecked.
And then where does it go from there?
The people either come back and get their car, if they don't, within 30 days, then I get rid of it.
Under
And,
state statute, record service means the provision of services relating to the recovery, towing, storage, and release of towed vehicles to appropriate parties by an individual corporate entity in accordance with DPS regulations. I mean, what you have described is record services. So I think the problems you're going to run into is if we downgrade you to, for example, a C4, that towing aspect of the business cannot function there as an ancillary or however you want to call it. It cannot happen there.
Tonight was the first night I heard of it going to a C5, so I haven't looked at it to see what falls under it.
So, counsel, if he's going to maintain the record service, I-2 is what needs to happen.
Dave, didn't he say in a meeting the other day that we could kick it back to the zoning and planning commission, include this in I-1?
You could you can change the zoning code to
Right.
include that.
To include this in I-1?
You could, yes.
At
That's what I was-
present,
that's what I was
It
asking.
doesn't.
The code does not allow for that at present.
But we
Counsel-
could kick it back to the zoning and planning and recommend that they add this to the I-1 designation.
Absolutely. I mean, the council, you can change what constitutes I-1. We can say that includes bakeries. I mean,
A good example of that is video stores.
The other piece you could do is because his lot is so small, you're not holding that much. You could define this as different from some form of junkyard,
Yeah.
where there's
Like
mass
separate them?
storage.
Like separate the junkyard and record service, maybe?
My only problem with designating it as I-2 is if somebody comes in later and says, well, they're I-2, why can't I be I-2? I don't want that, because that totally
industrial.
kills our comprehensive plan. So I would recommend that we send it back to the zoning and planning, make them include this in I-1, so he can stay I-1.
Works for me. I mean, it seems like this is a unique situation that we don't have a standard definition for.
That's correct.
And
So
land development
he's
code
very-
needs to be updated.
He's
I will
very-
put on my little plug.
He's a
for
very
that.
different, he is a very different animal than what we've seen in other, it's the storage piece that he's doing a very limited amount of, so.
The only thing I would make council aware of is if you're gonna change the zoning code and allow for this particular use to be in I-1, you're telling everyone else who is zoned I-1, they can do that as well. I can't limit it to this gentleman. If we're changing it,
And that's why I'm saying, if we're gonna do that, you would want to limit the scope of what, based on the lot size or based on something to say
would
a
a special use
smaller-
permit be more appropriate in I-1? And
I don't
council,
think we have any special use permit. They might be mentioned in our codes, but we have not done one before,
Sure,
so.
I mean, that might be a way to avoid, because backing up. Whatever color on the map we paint this property, anyone else's properties also colored that color can do the exact same thing. I can't limit it to just this property, your property, my property, anyone's property. If you are on the future land use map, looks like it appears to be a light pink, anyone light pink can do this.
Can we limit him by lot size? So I'd like to take the size of his lot and say, if anything this big or smaller, that you can have this use. Anything
Oklahoma.
larger than that, you can't do that.
Oklahoma's, Oklahoma records have to have a minimum 5,500 square feet yard. That helps.
What if we did it in that sense as if you're gonna do a record service in I-1, the storage portion could only be 6,000 square feet? And that's the limitation on that. Something like that would.
Yeah.
So it certainly sounds like the
What's-
direction we're heading is we want the planning commission to think this out more, because there's certainly gonna be larger knock-on effects than just, it's not just we'll add a single letter here and go from there. It sounds like we want the planning commission to think about this and come up with a better answer. Is that kind of what I'm hearing? So if so, I think an appropriate motion would be to remand this case back to planning commission with a recommendation for an update to the zoning code as appropriate.
I believe there's a motion on the table that we have to basically let it die for lack of a vote, and then create a second motion if I'm not mistaken.
I think so, yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, so Counselor Beatty had made a recommendation or a motion earlier. Was there a second to it?
If there's no second, it dies for lack of a second.
You withdrawn second? No second? Okay, that motion dies for lack of a second. And you want to reiterate?
Yes. I think appropriate motion would be to remand this case back to the planning commission to produce a recommendation on the appropriate classification of wrecking services in the land use code.
We have someone willing to make that recommendation or motion? Motion, Counselor Roden, second, Counselor Boatright. Cora, would you call the roll?
Counselor Roden?
Yes.
Boatright?
Yes.
Beatty?
Yes.
Gilmore?
Yes.
Woodley? Yes. Stone?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes, and motion carries.
Mr. Crowley, that process won't take very long, so I'm just letting you know,
And if I-
we're gonna be right on top of it.
Like I said, I'm working on the agenda right now, so for the August meeting,
There you go.
so it'll be the.
Just give us a couple of weeks and we'll have you back up here, okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. All right, we'll move on to item number 2, discussion of possible action to approve the ordinance amending ordinance number 2812, which is established the budget for fiscal year 2024-2025, repealing all conflicting ordinances, providing for severability clause, and declaring an emergency.
Do you wanna do it or you got me? Okay, so, this is the final ordinance amending the 2024-2025 ordinances. Sherry couldn't be here tonight, she's in Chicago. doing a conference. I want to point out that you had a supplemental under your books. These are for Exhibit A6, A7, and A8. The basic premise of all of these is that it makes all of the adjustments to add additional revenues and transfers on the fiscal year budget for 24-25. I can go through these individually if you want me to, but it's just basically taking additional revenues such as interest income and when we have to transfer funds to pay for another fund that was a little light, that's what this did. So I'm at your call. If you want me to go through each and every one individually, we can do that. I think there is 23 of them.
Any questions on any specific one?
Well, I do. What is the forfeitures about that I just get here on this supplemental here?
So the problem was a printing issue. So if you look at A6 in your original, it didn't print the bottom.
Okay.
So we had to go back in. For some reason, the print screen didn't do all of the print. So the forfeitures are fines and forfeitures. Which one are you talking about specifically?
I think he's talking about A8.
A8.
Yeah, right here on the last page of the supplemental.
Okay.
16, right at the top.
It's a state forfeiture fund. So those are forfeitures that we have had to increase the funding going to those. So those are forfeitures that we've received.
Okay.
So would you, Mr. Manager, would you explain what forfeitures you're referring to? I think those listening on, they might benefit from what is a forfeiture in this context?
Well, then, to me, it may be drug forfeiture money and stuff like that. Is that what it is?
Court forfeitures.
Okay.
This comes out of this is the state court fund.
Fines?
It's fund number 16.
Yes, so this is when police recover funds or something that can be sold. If that is not claimed at a later time, we get those funds back. So this would have been a check that would have come from the state from something that was collected during an arrest, or I can't speak like a cop, you know. But anyway, it's funds that we've you get it. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's perfect.
Okay,
Thank you.
I understand.
Any other questions?
The penalties, the very first one,
Mhm.
what are we being penalized for the landfill? Is it something that we're not doing, or I mean, it's not very much money, but it's just, I'm just asking
Which one are you on?
I'm on the
A6.
landfill, the penalties.
That's a revenue.
As revenue,
Yeah, the
so
revenue.
when, that's penalties on the utility accounts for landfill. I mean, if somebody doesn't pay and we charge a late fee, part of that goes to the landfill fund.
Okay.
So a portion goes to, MPWA, a portion goes to landfill, a portion goes to stormwater. Because
Okay.
all of those fees are on a utility bill.
This is not a penalty the city has paid. This is a penalty
Right, this
someone's
is
paid
revenue.
to the city.
Yes.
Right.
Any other questions? I'll take a motion to approve. Motion, Counselor Gilmore, second, Counselor Beatty. Cora, would you call the roll?
Counselor Gilmore?
Yes.
Beatty?
Yes.
Woodley? Yes. Stone?
Yes.
Roden?
Yes.
Boatright?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes, and the motion carries. This also has an emergency. Take a motion to approve the emergency. Motion is Counselor Boatright, second, Counselor Stone. Cora, would you call the roll?
Counselor Boatright?
Yes.
Stone?
Yes.
Gilmore?
Yes.
Woodley? Yes. Roden?
Yes.
Beatty?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes, and the motion carries. On item number 3, discussion on monthly financial update.
So I will sit in for this one as well. This is the final monthly update for the fiscal year of 2025. The financial summary as of June 2025. If you look on the first page, general fund at a glance, you'll see under the revenues are sitting at about at approximately 91.05% of the budgeted funds to receive in. And our expenditures are sitting at 98%. Our transfers are at 100% because those are scheduled, those are done regardless. The transfers out, of course, is down to 85.13. If you look at the MPWA, we're in much better shape there. Under revenues, we've received in 95.93%, but only spent 82.5% of our total annual budget there, which gave us a bit of a surplus in the MPWA. Looking at the next page is our general fund total revenue, and you'll see that for June, that number did go up over the last 2 years, but it's still under the total budgeted amount that we were hoping for. So good news in the overall year over year, but still not quite meeting our budget, which you knew that going in. On the next page, you'll see a pie graph of where all of those sales tax dollars go to. 2%, approximately 47% of the fund goes to the general fund. 1%, approximately 24% goes to bonds. 0.5 goes to infrastructure. Cancer centers 1.25%, excuse me, 0.125%. So 3% go to cancer center and early childhood safe rooms. 6% goes to DWSRF. That's 6% of the total, if you look. And then, of course, that the TIF, the shops at McAllister, is approximately 5% of the total coming in. On the next page, we've added some, Sherry did a great job of going through and adding some more details from our partners at OMMS. They do a lot more tracking of funds over and how we see our funds as compared to other cities. So if you go through and you look, you'll see our overall, the first page on this, our overall from 2010 at 12,800,000 up to 2025 at 19,124,000. You can see that large shift from the last 15 years of sales tax revenues increasing for the city. Now, this year we did go down a little bit over last year and the year before, but we knew that was going to happen, and we've planned for that in the budget for 26. On the next page, you'll see 5 up and 5 down in tax rank according to what we're bringing in based on our +5, +6, or +5 and -5. So if you look above us is Bixby, Ada, Durant, Bartlesville, Yukon. They're all bringing in 1.9 or 19.7, 19.9, 21.7. And you can also go in there and look at what their population is. And what I'd love to point out here is that if you look at the bottom 5 there, you look at Ponca City, you look at Duncan, Sapulpa, these are all cities that are bigger than us, but we're actually doing better than they are in sales tax. So we're doing some things here, especially along that 69 corridor, and folks having more opportunities to spend local. We're doing better than some of these other larger cities than us.
Yeah, I think another thing to point out on that is under the county rate, that while it's not unusual for the county to have a portion of the sales tax, $0.015 is a very large sum compared to other communities.
Yep.
We are the highest in that.
There we are.
We are the highest of those 10 cities.
Yep. The next is our overview fiscal year 2025 to date. Just to kind of give you that look over all of what we've received in. And if you look on the right, it gives you 2024's numbers and 2025's, with the exception of where they kind of go back and forth between November through March. Most of those other months are pretty stable for 2024 and 2025. So in one month we'll get a lot less, and then another month we'll get a lot more. So if you see it on November and December, for instance. So there's just a lot of data. You know, we're data people. We love to see analytics and what it kind of shows us. The next slide gives us what those sectors are that we're receiving funds in, whether they're utilities, construction, retail. The largest numbers of those, almost 66% of that is coming out of retail trade, sector 44, 40, and 45. So. Next slide, we've got the 2% fund for the general fund. This is obviously what goes into the general fund and not the total collected in sales tax. We came in at 848,000, excuse me, we came in at 740,000, which is slightly less than the year before, but more than the year before that. So. Use tax, the next slide. Use tax is about the same. It's 158,000, which is slightly less than last year's, which is 162, but slightly, and slightly less than the year before that at 160. So, but that's pretty stable. Year over year for the month of June. Next slide is going to be our. Which one is this?
Use tax. 5 up.
Yep, 5 below, 5 up, 5 below for use tax. And again, if you look below us, I think that we're a little bit more stable in how we're being treated based on our population there. It's hard to determine on use tax exactly what is and isn't and where that comes from and how stable that is in the environment. So.
No, but even though that we have the up and down,
Yep.
We're still the highest on scoreboard.
Yep. We are. Well,
What is the biggest impact factor on use tax? How does a city increase its use tax? What is the biggest player in that?
If you buy online, make sure that you're buying from a reputable source, and that source is delivering it to your home in McAllister. If it's being delivered anywhere else, then we're not collecting the use tax on that. Another piece to that is every time somebody does a drop ship. So if a contractor is ordering supplies for a building that he is building and they're dropping those inside of city limits, we will get the sales tax for that, or the use tax, excuse me. Even if the provider is outside of the city. So let's say a contractor orders something from Krebs and Krebs delivers it inside of city limits for the building supplies. We will still get that use tax because it's wherever it is delivered.
So new construction, commercial construction is super important for use tax.
Yes, it is. Very much so.
Another piece of that could be if you have a large online retailer that does same or next day deliveries in your community, and people get used to that, they could be ordering more things online,
That would
motivated by.
probably not be use tax, probably not captured that way. Most of the,
Would be sales tax.
a lot of the major retailers, Amazons and the like, they've entered into agreements with the state where they're collecting sales tax, true sales tax at checkout. To your point about use tax can be paid by your larger people. My hometown, Muskogee, we have a large industrial base. The use tax from Muskogee is millions of dollars.
Right.
Because you have companies who are buying things
That's
and
what I
they're
was
shipped to
thinking,
Muskogee.
yeah.
So it's largely a tax paid by your industrial users, industrial or large commercial. Your normal folk are likely not paying much use tax.
So these industries that are looking at McAllister, that are coming to McAllister, these new constructions and things, that is so vital because that's how we capture revenue.
I think the highway
Large-
project was a big one, wasn't it?
Yeah, the highway project had a lot. Now, if, you know, when the state is operating the contract, we don't. But if the state just hires a contractor, then we do. Does that make sense? Okay.
But even like with your Amazons, if the sales tax can go up if there's a
Yes.
motivation to buy that,
Sure.
because we know we can get it faster.
We do see it.
I was just saying with the new facility.
Infrequently, we'll see it.
Thank you.
Am I missing anything on that here?
I will add one other thing, because we had to clarify this. If it is shipped from within Oklahoma, it is sales tax. It will show up under sales tax, and he was kind of saying that, but, Hobby Lobby, there's a headquarter in Oklahoma. So if you order from Hobby Lobby and it ships from within Oklahoma, it's gonna show up under our sales tax, not our use tax.
But if it ships from Texas,
Then it will show up under use tax.
there it is. Thank
Because
you.
that manufacturer is choosing to report that.
Well,
But you're
well,
talking
no,
about
it
the-
just depends on if it's outside of the state, it's gonna show up as use. If it's inside of the state, it's gonna show up as sales. We get it regardless, it's just what category
Which
it
one it
falls
goes
under.
into, okay.
And we looked at actually at one point combining the two, because when the shops were being built, a lot of that was coming locally, and so we had a huge budget for use tax for when that was being built, expecting to see a lot of that, and it was showing up under sales tax instead of use. And so it all balances out, but it makes it kinda hard to balance, and really, there's no rhyme or reason for use. Unless, you know, we got funds when Quick Trip was going in, but that was before they were annexed in, so we didn't see it until it was annexed, and then they put in the pumps or something when we saw that, so.
And to be clear, so use tax is sales tax for things that don't require a sales tax.
Right.
It's because it's the same rate, there's not tax discounts, you're not saving tax by paying use tax or sales tax, it's the same rate. It's trying to equalize what is essentially out-of-state purchase, online purchases, with purchases made in a physical location here in Callister.
And I assume that those were split, so when you saw those spikes, it wasn't like, oh, hey, sales taxes.
A lot of times we do see when use tax is really low, sales tax is a little bit higher. So, but
Average
we
out.
can't, use tax is so unpredictable.
It
We
is.
can predict sales tax a lot easier than use tax.
Thank you. The next slide shows us that use tax year over year from 2010 up to 2025, and how that's kind of increased over that time period. Something big happened in 2020, or 2017, I'm not sure exactly what that was, I wasn't here for that. But to go from 700 and, well, we doubled the use tax in that year. And then it just kind of went down once, but it has slowly risen. But again, it's so hard to predict and make any realizations off of that, so. And our next slide, of course, shows our year-to-date total for use tax and what we've collected. Slide after that shows the use tax for the sectors. Retail, trade, sector 45 and sector 44 make up for a large portion of that, but not as large as the sales tax. When you add in wholesale trade, that adds in and becomes the greater part of that, almost 75%. And then you add in some of these other things, transportation and agriculture and information technology. There's all kinds of sectors in there. Next slide is our water sales. This is residential and commercial. For June, we were up 319,000. When you look at that from last year, 249,000, that's pretty good. A little bit better than what it was 2 years ago. So this has had a positive effect on our overall MPWA numbers. So wholesale.
Excuse me, why would that change? I mean, have we had big industry and stuff come in and cause the things change like that?
It fluctuates on the number of number one, on the number of accounts we have. We've got big users that will use big in one way and then they won't in the next, and then we'll have some that'll be late and they'll pay it off
Well,
in the next month.
a big part of June is we did our second phase of AMI, so we had 1,600 additional automated meters put in. So we don't have the cubic meters that have lost their accuracy. So a big piece of that increase is that we have a lot more residential. It was only residential installed, but a lot more residential meters that are automated, and the accuracy
way
is
more
like
accurate.
99.9%. So I'm gonna stay here until he's finished.
Cause the other ones were propeller driven and they wear over time and slow.
Yeah, mechanical.
Good investment.
Yeah, definitely. Last of the colored slides here is obviously our hotel motel tax. And you'll see that for June, 55,000, although we are still short one taxing entity that has not paid, or have they caught up yet?
They're not caught up.
They're not caught up. So we still have some money that's owed to us. The final is it's not the final, but the treasurer's report. See the bottom line, the claims on pooled cash for the month of June were 1.4 million, and the claim on pooled cash for MPWA was 2.5. And the final, we do not have an office pool, but we are kind of wondering when this is gonna end. The TIF, we're sitting right now at, our total payoff is at 1.16 million. That's what we owe left on it. We should be seeing that most likely, I'm saying April. What do you think?
A full year?
April?
I'm hoping like February.
You think that? Okay. So
We'll hope with you.
I'm going.
regardless,
Yeah. I like
regardless,
that.
we're well over a year ahead. So that is great news. That TIF is doing very well, and we should have it in this budget year to be complete. So
Everybody shot
that's
Yep.
that is the good news.
So we get to keep all the tax after that.
Yes.
The other thing that we don't really talk about that's positive in that, I mean, we talk about the tax revenue, but we don't talk about, you can only have so much TIF area in your community, so that this pays off, that gives us more availability to work on projects in the future.
That's correct. Which we're working on. Thank you, Karen. Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to item number 4, discussion of possible action to approve an ordinance amending McAllister City Code, Chapter 14, Section 14-30, fees to airport services by adding paragraph G after hour support fees and amending Chapter 48 fees, charges and service rates by adding fees associated with Chapter 14, Section 14-30, providing for severability and declaring an effective date.
Mr. Mayor, Council, good evening. As you know, the airport operates 8 to 5, normal operating hours, but we are frequently called upon to come out after hours and service aircraft. So our refueling technicians show up all hours of the night, all hours of the night on the weekends, and they're not compensated or not collecting, I should say, for that service. And so, in discussions with Chase, we think it's a point in our operations that we can add a service fee. It's something that's normally done at a lot of non-24/7 airports. The amount is fair compared to what we see charged elsewhere. And so this would be a way to increase some of the revenue that we can generate out of the airport, offset some of the costs that we may have to pay in either overtime or comp time to airport employees, and put a little bit of extra money on the revenue side for the airport.
People that are going to pay this fee are coming
They're
to
coming
town and
to-
leaving. It's not local people that are having to
That's
absorb a
correct.
fee.
And if it is a local person that comes in after hours, we would obviously work with them. but the intent is to do transitory aircraft that come in after hours.
So the reality is you're paying overtime or comp time.
It's a way-
So we shouldn't be losing money
Correct. It's a way to
on our
reduce
sale,
that.
because we're having to take the additional funds out of the sale of the fuel
That's correct.
to cover those wages.
I feel I have to jump in here. You say we work with them, I need some clarification on that. This
Um,
ordinance is clear,
the-
if we are providing services after
If
hours.
they come in
we are-
if they come out on a Saturday during 8 to 5, then that's a normal hour that we would be working those hours. Those folks are gonna show up and respond as they would during Monday through Friday. But if it's a Saturday night or Sunday night and a local airplane comes in and wants to get refueled before he puts in the hangar, he should pay. It is outside.
I just want to make sure that's clear,
That's
that
correct.
we're not offering a discount to people who live here versus those
No.
who don't. If you are needing after-hour service, regardless of where you are domiciled,
Correct.
this fee is going to apply to you.
So that's the staff's recommendation.
Any questions?
Make a motion to accept it.
Does this have an effective date in it?
It does.
Okay. Motion.
30 days for passage.
Okay. Motion, Counselor Beatty, second, Counselor Gilmore. Would you call the roll?
Vice Mayor Beatty?
Yes.
Counselor Gilmore?
Yes.
Roden?
Yes.
Boatright?
Yes.
Woodley?
Yes.
Stone?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes, the motion carries. On to item number 5, discussion of possible action to approve an ordinance of the City of McAllister, Oklahoma, amending McAllister City Code to add Chapter 63 Railroad Operations and Industrial Track Management, establishing regulations for the operation and maintenance of the railroad track services at the Stephen Taylor Industrial Park, providing for inspection, maintenance fees, and amending Chapter 48 fees, charges, and service rates by adding fees for the railroad operations, industrial track management, providing for severability, and declaring an effective date.
This item is basically in lieu of an agreement that the railroad, ALK Railroad, had established with the city several years back, identifying pieces of track that the city has responsibility for. There, to date, has not been a very good maintenance plan on maintaining that track. In June, we had a derail out there that cost the city about $20,000, and there was really no way to recoup that. So what this does is establishes a scheduled maintenance plan based on ALK's recommendation of 1/3 of the railroad ties replaced through a 10-year period, so that over the course of a 30-year period, all of the ties on all the spurs and the lead track into the industrial park would be replaced. That's their requirement. They have a set cost for replacing those per tie. We sat down and figured out the formula that they use, what it would cost for the spur that we own, or I should say the lead track that we own. There are 2 pieces of track out there that belong to customers, and then there are 2 pieces of track that belong to that the city would be responsible to maintain or charge the current user of that spur. So that's what this does, is allows us to go in and, for example, I'll use Duraline as an example. The city owns that track. We're responsible for the maintenance on it. If we were to have to pay for that repair or inspection or any of the things that were on that piece of track, we would never recuperate that money from Duraline, even though they're the primary user. Eurocat, they're out there, their track is just discontinued, they don't use it. It would still be inspected, but there's no use, so there's no wear and tear. Magnera used to be Berry Plastics. They own their track. Anytime there's a problem on their piece of track, they coordinate directly with ALK. ALK comes out and fixes it, and they pay for the repair. They would pay for the inspections. They pay for any of the maintenance that's done on it. The city owns about 3,000 feet of lead track, and then there are a piece that's owned by, as I said, 2 other companies out there that we would establish a fee with them to pay and collect a fee from them to do maintenance and repair on that. What led to this was, as I said, there was a derail in June, and I went back and looked, and since April of 22, the city has spent over $84,000 on track repair and maintenance that we have not been able to recoup. So what this does, it establishes an annual maintenance fee for those customers that are using city-owned track. There will be a piece, though, as I said, that 3,000 feet of lead track
the city will have to take care of. And so future budgets will have to be configured so that we can recoup that or program that money into the budget to pay for that maintenance. This is adding a new chapter to the city code and then changing the fee structure in chapter 48.
Any questions?
Is this kind of what other towns do?
Most industrial parks that I've been able to talk to say they charge, or the company that operates or owns the spur outright, they make their own repair and inspection and maintenance fees through that operating rail service.
Will this make us less attractive to businesses coming in?
It's a cost of doing business. The companies that are out there, they do it already. Any new business that's gonna come out there that's gonna require rail service, it'll be part of the contract that we sign with them, that they'll either do one of two things. They'll either purchase the rights and pay for their own rail spur, or they will pay the city for maintenance and inspections and repairs.
Okay.
Any other questions? Motion to approve. Motion Counselor Boatright, second Counselor Stone.
I also point out that the effective date on this is 1 October 2025.
Cora, would you call the roll?
Excuse me, Counselor Boatright?
Yes.
Stone?
Yes.
Gilmore?
Yes.
Woodley? Yes. Roden?
Yes.
Beatty?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes, the motion carries. On to item number 6, discussion and possible action on adopting a resolution to apply for grants and accepting grant offers from the U.S. Department of Transportation, Federal Aviation Administration, and the Oklahoma Department of Aerospace and Aeronautics for the taxiway and taxiway lighting rehabilitation project at McAllister Regional Airport.
I may beg your indulgence. Chase is gonna present this as the airport manager. This is his last city council meeting, and so I wanted to publicly thank him for everything he's done at the airport. He's done an outstanding job. We have a brand new terminal. We're getting new taxiway lights as a result of this. And so I just wanted to publicly thank him for everything that he's done in front of the council.
Good evening, council. I'd like to give a little background on this, if I may. So the taxiway and lighting rehab project is the next project on the airport's capital improvement list. The project included a base bid as well as 3 additional alternates to be added to the project if they become funded. The base bid includes rehabilitating the taxiway pavement, rehabilitating and replacing the taxiway lighting, and replacing the electrical vault that operates all of the lighting and electrical equipment on the airfield. The alternate number 1, which would be in addition to the base bid, would be adding new circuits to our precision approach path indicators. Add alternate number 2 would be replacing our runway end identifier lights. And add alternate number 3 would be replacing the wind cone and adding a segmented circle around the wind cone. The time frame for this project is 119 calendar days. November would be the earliest start to this project, pending approval and acquisition of funding. And there were 4 bids submitted for the project. The lowest bid went to a company called...
You jumped ahead, you're on 9, this is 6. So this is just to do the grant. So I just wanna make sure, cause I see that you're all jumping pages
Trying to
here.
find the number.
Yeah, so.
I'm just giving background.
You're giving
If
the
it's
background,
inappropriate,
so
I can stop.
just make
Just
sure that
the
we're.
resolution.
Yep, so the resolution is to do the grant, there we go, okay. I don't wanna confuse.
Just trying to clarify what we're paying for, but
There
I'll
Okay.
stand for any questions.
Any questions? Motion to approve. Motion Counselor Boatright, second Counselor Rowe. Cora, would you call the roll?
Counselor Boatright?
Yes.
Roden?
Yes.
Woodley?
Yes.
Stone?
Yes.
Beatty?
Yes.
Gilmore?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes, and the motion carries.
The change to the change.
All right, we're on to item number 7, discussion of possible action to accept and authorize the mayor to sign the grant applications and grant offers once awarded, and for these dollar amounts being correct. for the federal BIL grant funds and federal AIP funds, and the OAC state funds for the rehabilitation of taxiway pavement and airport lighting at McAllister Regional Airport. And we did have some incorrect numbers, but we have discussed with council, and he said we were good because the intent and everything that we were applying for was the same.
Why are the numbers interesting?
Nope. There's a type
Are they substantially different?
These are funding provided by federal and state agencies, a total of $2,032,675.10. A match from the city of $79,810 for a total project cost of $2,112,485.10.
You wanna talk through that, John?
Sure.
This is, and to go forward, we were expecting to table this tonight, but after basically the mayor and the council had a conversation there, and he's good with it. So I just wanna make sure that what we're doing is well-versed and well-talked out, so.
The reason I am comfortable with it is we have informed the public that we are gonna seek federal funds from the bipartisan infrastructure law, from the federal AIP, I don't know what that particular acronym stands for, and the AOC, which is the Oklahoma Aeronautics Commission, which is now the Oklahoma Department of Aviation and Aerospace. We're applying for this project from these sources, just for the wrong amounts.
Are they substantially different?
Yes. From BIL, can you walk through what the changes would be? James?
So this is a match, right? We're gonna have a big number and then we're gonna match, the city match is part of it.
City's match is gonna be 3.8% of the total project. So the AIP funds, which is Airport Improvement Plan, those are federal funds. The total would be $699,999. The AIG, which is Airport Infrastructure Grant funding, would be $281,000 even. Each of those is a 2.5% match on the city side and a 2.5% match on the state side. And then the Oklahoma Department of Aeronautics or Aerospace and Aeronautics, their match is, or I'm sorry, their portion is $1,025,860 with a 5% sponsor match.
What was the first number you identified, sir, from the bipartisan infrastructure law?
The BIL funds were $281,000. The AIP funds, Airport Improvement Plan funds, are $699,999.
I think you lost me on percentages. What would the city's responsibility be estimate when those are all together?
Total project cost is $2,112,485.10, and the city is responsible for $79,810.10. So that equates out to about 3.8% of the project cost.
Hey, that's not too bad.
No.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's a pretty good number.
For those keeping track at home, that's approximately an increase of $200,000 that we are applying for grants. So that will go from approximately 1.8 million to 2 million total grant request.
Correct.
But the city's match part of it is just going to be the 79,000. That did not change.
Any other questions? Motion to approve. Motion Counselor Gilmore, second Counselor Beatty. Cora, would you call the roll?
Counselor Gilmore?
Yes.
Beatty?
Yes.
Stone?
Yes.
Bowden?
Yes.
Boatright?
Yes.
Woodley?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes, and the motion carries. On to item number 8, discussion of possible action to accept and authorize the mayor to sign the task order agreement number 5 with H.W. Lochner, Inc. in the amount not to exceed $361,000 for the construction and inspection services for the taxiway pavement airport lighting rehabilitation project at the McAllister Regional Airport.
So H.W. Lochner is our engineer of record. They've been with us for about 3 years now. This would be their fees to come in and do construction and inspection services. So this would be them having an on-site inspector during the project, as well as some laboratory testing of pavement samples and things of that nature.
Any questions? Motion to approve. Motion Counselor Gilmore, second Counselor Roden. Cora, would you call the roll?
Counselor Gilmore?
Yes.
Roden?
Yes.
Boatright?
Yes.
Beatty?
Yes.
Woodley? Yes. Stone?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes, and the motion carries. On item number 9, discussion possible action authorizing the mayor to sign a notice of award and contract contingent on the receipt of grant funding from the FAA and ODAA. The total bid amount of $1,547,985 from Screed Tech LLC for the rehabilitation of the taxiway pavement and airport lighting at McAllister Regional Airport.
Okay, so we received 4 bids for this project. The low bid went to Screed Tech LLC out of Fairbury, Nebraska. Their low bid, just for the base bid only, was $1,278,537.50. So again, that's the base bid. If we get awarded the ad alternates, it will total the 1,547 you see there on the agenda. They came in about $200,000 less than the engineer's estimate, so we feel like that's a pretty fair bid.
Any questions? Motion to approve. Motion from Counselor Stone, second Counselor Boatright. Cora, would you call the roll?
Counselor Stone?
Yes.
Boatright?
Yes.
Beatty?
Yes.
Gilmore?
Yes.
Woodley? Yes. Roden?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes, and the motion carries. Chase, I want to reiterate Ken's comments and really appreciate everything you've done out there and wish you the best on everything you've done.
Thank you.
Any new business?
Nothing from the city.
All right, staff reports.
Today we have our wonderful Public Works Director, the one and only Tommy Hill, and I'm sure this is going to be entertaining, whatever he says.
Council, Mayor, it's a privilege to be here tonight. Just to give you a little update. You know, the month of June for us was a little rough with the storms and all that stuff. The landfill, as of today at 3 o'clock, we've taken in 915 ton of brush. Just in what we went and picked up, what local people have brought, and contractors that's helped people just from that one Saturday storm on the 7th. That 915 ton, that's a lot of brush. So we will chip some of it to the best of our abilities with our staff. Some of it we may have a local weenie roast one Saturday night. On building maintenance side of it, they've been busy replacing some things that the storm done damage to. The geological building lost some windows. We reached out to one of the local vendors that deals with windows, and he's gonna do the windows on his dime. So we're not gonna be out anything to replace those windows unless something else happens, but as we know right now, he's gonna take care of that cost. Traffic control, your intersections at 6th and Strong are now back to where it's modern. The traffic is not set on just a steady loop. So you should be noticing if traffic, it just ain't looping. When traffic is heavier on Carl Albert, you know, your 6th Street on north and south side's gonna be a little slower, but it works the same way in reverse. That's the first time that these has been up and operable in probably at least a year. So that helps with our traffic flow. Our fleet departments just steadily working on all of our vehicles, which here lately has really been a lot with police and fire. I'm trying to do this all off memory, because Dave knows that I really love this public speaking. Our street department, at the present time, is working on 2 street projects. One of them, we're trying to tie up at Sixton Creek and finish that one off. We've had one of our crews out of our street department actually hauling brush since we started that, so it's kind of slowed that process down. Since of all the spring rains, 14th Street, we had undermined with stormwater, and the street went to falling. So we're currently taking some of it out and rebasing it back. We don't know what extent that the damage was to the whole street, but where it started out, it don't look good. But as we take it off, we will replace everything that's bad underneath that and put all good back on top. Basically, oh, one other thing with the street department. The project at Church Street and 16th Street with the asphalt overlay has been completed. In my opinion, you won't find a better street to drive down. That they really did a good job on it, and I think we'll get some years out of it. And like I said, the guys did a really good job. One other thing I want to say before I end is that day of that storm, we had several outside groups other than just the city of McAllister. We had several volunteer fire departments that come in here and helped us. I was really impressed, because when I got to town just shortly after the storm hit, I figured the street department, myself, and some others would be here for a couple of days. From what I just seen on my first initial drive through. And by 2 o'clock that afternoon, everybody was loading up and going home. So them outside people, them fire departments, and even our people, UTM, Parks Department, cemetery, the street department. I hope I don't miss anybody, because they get mad if I miss them. But even Ross Selman, District 3, come inside the city limits with the loader and move some stuff for us. I really appreciate that, because it's important to have those outside entities that you can work with, so that when things like this happen, they're right there to help you. So the storms kind of put us a little bit behind on our day-to-day stuff, but just like anything else, you take care of what that day gives you, and you just take care of business.
Also finished F Street?
Yes, F Street is completed. Yes, 100%.
How many lane miles? Is it 177 lane miles?
Roughly 176, 177, somewhere in there on the IMS.
And so we know the price is gonna go up tomorrow, but as of today, 1 lane mile to redo the road, the water lines, sewer lines, stormwater, to do it right, the base, everything. What does 1 mile cost? Just roughly.
Now you try to put me on the spot. Just to do one lane mile of just flat concrete is $1 million. So you add in the infrastructure and all that, depending on, or stormwater, all that, you could climb up to
Doubling.
Yeah.
And your budget's 1.5?
Mm-hmm.
The reason I say that is just to keep that in perspective with the public. that's what's in the 1.5, I mean, that's your salaries, filling potholes,
That- yes,
replacing
that's
panels,
everything.
Emergencies like 14th Street.
Yeah, that's.
That's not their salary.
Oh, it's not their salaries, okay, just the
No,
actual
that's
repairs, but
that's the numbers we actually put in the ground.
put in the ground. But still, I mean, it's a very limited budget for what you all pull off and make happen.
And me and Brian, project managers, currently trying to work on getting an overlay list for this next year. Some pavement, panel improvement where we've got some damaged panels on existing streets, and, maybe a project, a full project. I will not disperse that at this time. But it's on a major street and it's much needed. And like I said, we're working on it. The wheels have started turning, but we ain't got up to proper speeds yet, but it's coming.
Any other questions?
Well, Tommy, I was over driving at Mullins Park last week and caught Brian Spencer out there stepping off Springer Street. I said, "What you doing?" He said, "Are you thinking about overlaying this?" I hope that's the secret that you're going right there with. But is there any plans? He said, "We're thinking about doing it."
We've been doing a lot of talking because of the new splash pad stuff and the shape Springer's in. Springer is one of them tough ball games because you got a whole lot of stuff that you got to replace.
Yeah.
And the stormwater is one of the big ones with that one in the current way that it's set up on Springer Street. Since then, done a little background checking on our infrastructure as far as our water and sewer, which the water is on the south side of that whole 3 blocks down through there.
And it's all brand new.
And it's all brand new. And just got to talk with Dave. The sewer is not that big of a deal. Like we talked the day that we was out there. It's little bitty short stuff. So, like I said, we're working on some stuff to do some overlays. That is in part of the conversation.
And I wanna thank you for doing Church Street. That's been a project of mine for over 3 years, so.
And
Glad-
just
glad to
like with
get
that, Church Street and 16th Street was one of those maintenance nightmares. We was over there every week doing something to that until we could get to where we overlaid it. So that was one of them maintenance nightmares, which now, because of overlaying it, take some of them maintenance dollars and put it into big projects.
Well, you know, F Street and Church Street, you overlaid Church Street.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you overlay F Street? That was my baby when I was out there. It used to be in my ward. and stuff.
The reason we went concrete was the steepness of the hill that it was on, and just like trash trucks, asphalt today, and I'm not knocking asphalt, but it ain't like it was 10, 15, 20 years ago. And the concrete, like I said, how steep that hill was, and these trash trucks, concrete was the way to go. Because the maintenance part of that, we cut out for a good, I'm gonna say 10 years. Don't get me wrong, something crazy could happen, but all the water is outside the street. It was one of those, that was a concrete street all the way around.
Any other questions? Appreciate your time.
All right, thank y'all.
All right, our city manager's report.
You'll find your monthly city manager's report in the back of your folders. Please take those out, take them home, soak them in, love them, sleep with them under your pillow, do all the things. We put a lot of work into this, and I hope that you guys get a lot out of it. So, I should say Adrian puts a lot of work into this, so I hope you all get something out of this. So, Adrian, thank you. I want to announce that I finally selected, and I emailed you all, so you know, but I've selected my assistant city manager, and he is now in the room. Ken comes to us from the economic development side. He spoke to us tonight as an economic development, but he officially started on the Monday as the assistant city manager. So thank you, Ken, for stepping up and being a part of my leadership team. That being said, I am throwing him into the fire because I'm leaving tomorrow for CMAO. The summer conference is in Lawton, so I'll be out for the next 3 days, and Ken's got the hammer. So if you don't have his number, make sure we get that to you. I believe you all have it. You should all have it. That number has not changed. So, but if you don't, come and see me afterwards and we'll get it to you. So.
You gotta tell them what we're doing at CMAO.
Oh yeah,
What
that's
do you
right.
know?
Because I'm not the only one going to CMAO.
That's true.
That's true. So this City Managers of Oklahoma is the conference, and we were invited to go and speak. The city attorney and I were invited to go and speak at the city attorneys conference about building a dynamics manager-attorney relationship. We've got a great relationship, he and I, so we had this idea that we needed to have this conversation with our peers, and so they said, yeah, sure, if you come and talk to the other ones as well. So on Thursday, we are teaching a class to all the city managers in the state on how to get along with each other, because just know that is not always the way it works. In fact, it kind of is rare. We have a very good relationship, and so we're teaching a course on it.
And if I can, the reason this whole thing even happened is I went to my conference last year, and one of the topics was how to fire a city manager. And I went to my association presidents, and I recognize that happens, but that's a rare event. Mostly we have to work with them. So if I told my association president, if I can get our city manager up here, can you let us talk? And Dave said, I'll agree if you come and let's do it to the city manager. And at the city attorney's side, it was well received. So I expect it to be well received on the city manager's side.
I believe it will be. So we're excited, and we're going to have a lot of fun with it too.
Very much so.
There is all kinds of anything from Lord of the Rings to The Hobbit to the discussions on Star Trek, Star Wars, and all things in between.
I don't think that's helping.
We're going to prove that former Mayor John Brown's point that we are the nerdiest guys in the room. I
We
promise
are
you that.
100% the nerdiest guys in the room. Anyway, that's my report.
Remarks and inquiries about the city council. Councilor Gilmore.
Yes, I do want to mention one thing. The McAllister Public Library will be hosting a town hall meeting on August 7th, beginning at 5 p.m. Senator Warren Hamilton, Representative David Smith, and Representative Jim Grego will be in attendance. I believe this will be an excellent opportunity for everybody in the room to meet our legislators and for the citizens to meet their legislators and have a conversation with them. So it's August 7th at 5 p.m. at the library at 520 East Smith Avenue, brought to you by the Southeastern Oklahoma Library System.
Woodley?
I do want to thank everyone that was involved in the grant writing and the procurement of those funds for the airport. That's very needed, and it's huge for economic development for our town. I'm thankful for that. Library construction is still going on, and most of y'all got a chance to see, but if there's an opportunity on Friday afternoons that you'd like to tour again, it's coming quickly, and I think you'll be really pleased with how it looks. I went up today, and it's going very quickly. So something to be proud of, for sure.
Stone?
Yes, apparently there was a batch of water bills that got lost somewhere in the mail. So if you have not received your water bill yet, you need to call the water office and get your totals and come down and pay it or whatever. I called them today, and they waived the late fees and all this other stuff, and we just put it in the box on the way in. Also, this weekend, Corvette show, the air-conditioned expo out there. So there will be, your normal amazing Corvettes, but I'm sure there will be some that are just completely off the hook. And it'd be something to go see. It's kind of an honor that McAllister was selected for this massive show, and it will be quite a lot of chrome. So bring your sunglasses and your family and just enjoy it. Also, there's a recycling exposition coming August 16th. It's a recycling festival. You never think those two words would go together, but it'll be down there at by the farmers market August 16th from 10 to 2. There's live music. There's just all kinds of things that they'll talk about recycling and things for the kids to do and so forth. So go check it out, because I've never been to a recycling festival before. So bring some plastic bottles or something.
Counselor Roden?
Well, I didn't go to the Dancing Rabbit Festival, but I did drive by. That place was loaded and
Yeah.
stuff. And I too have got a lot of complaints from citizens about their water bill and stuff, so, that's all I have. I'm getting ready to go to Tulsa and get operated on tomorrow, early.
Over?
Don't have anything.
Wait.
I have a couple of things. Had a guy that owns a building at 721 South George 9, that the contractor that was replacing the piping there, I think he called you on it, Dave, and they just went in there and just dumped gravel and took their heavy equipment in there, went and told the employees, you gotta move your cars. And if it's the same one that does the main, is it the same one that does Main Street project?
Yes.
So my problem is they've come into this town and they're really not, respecting people's, I mean, Main Street, they block the businesses. This guy, they didn't contact the business owner at all. I know in construction, if you finish early, and we've talked about this before, if you finish early, you get a bonus. If you finish late, you get penalized. But is there any kind of penalty for the way they treat our people? I mean, they can't just come in here and just, okay, we got the contract, we can just do whatever we want to.
And yes, and we did address it. We have talked with Lone Hickory, about at liberty to discuss what the agreements were on that, but they are going to have to make it right, and Lone Hickory will be making it right. So.
What about on Main Street?
They ran into some issues with what basically where everybody had a complaint now is that what they fixed is now crumbling. Well, that was just a top coat that they put on temporarily until they could get everything tied in. They had to cut all of that back out, which is why they didn't put a full base down and do all the work. So what they've done now is, now that they've got the tie-ins complete, they are gonna go back in and they will put in a proper base and redo that
Have they
section.
given us a timeline?
I have not gotten that timeline
Cause
for the past week.
that's one thing I worry about is when they have projects like this, like Main Street, it hurts our businesses. I mean, it really hurts our community, and we as city council people, we're the ones that the community comes to. And they don't come to the city manager, they don't come to any employees, they come to us, and we have to answer for that. So I would appreciate if the contractor would at least give us a timeline, let us be able to, because, I mean, they don't wanna go to our constituents, but our constituents will come to us. So if they would give us some kind of timeline, it would be easier for us as council people to address that. I appreciate it. That's all I have.
Appreciate it. All right, mayor's comments. Yeah, Dancing Rabbit looked like it was a great turnout. Really appreciate all the work with the contractor trying to get the building down and reducing any kind of safety issues, getting the fence moved back, so there was plenty of area there. I actually got to go to the library today and go to the walkthrough. What always throws me off is I always think of the front entrance as the first floor, but it's not, and the huge hole that they've cut in the floor to have the new grand staircase come in, absolutely amazing. The coolest thing, and Heath gave me a little tour, and this is what he told me. So we're looking at the walls, and he goes, you can see these exposed walls, they're actually concrete panels. And he goes, these were poured and they were brought in, and this was the first library in the U.S. to be made of prefab panels. And I was like, how interesting.
Steve Taylor told us that he was there when they started raising them.
Really?
And he remembers seeing them go up.
Yeah, I thought that was a really cool fact about our library. Starting on phase 4, so I believe that is Third Ward on all the tree cleanup.
They've been there already, haven't they?
All there been working and going, so 4 and 5 to go.
No, they gotta go south.
Yeah, south, so everything south of Carlisle, which is kind of where we're working at the moment. We've got school going to kick off here in 2 or 3 weeks, middle of August. So everybody just kind of remember school zones, watch your speed, watch your kids walking to school. Kind of out of practice over that over the summer. And then, as always, Adrian's in the back. Download that McAllister Connect app and get your notifications and sign up and get everybody on that. And then also our travelmcallister.com website for all of our tourism information and events. There's just so many different things and opportunities we have in our community, and it seems like we're getting more and more. Another one, just for any businesses or individuals out there, we had all the Buffalo statues, I think it was 15 years ago or so, that were going up. I have found another vendor, and so I'm working on another round of anybody who wants those and getting a price settled out. So if you want to know, we've had several businesses throughout the year say, hey, how do we get one of those? And we go, well, the vendor went out of business, and not really sure, but I found another one. And so we'll be working on getting that list put together. So if you have any interest in that, get a hold of me, and we'll tag you on the list and go from there. And then just kind of also want to say congratulations, Kim. I'd be lying if I didn't say that you've done such an amazing job in economic development. There's not some fears on the economic development side. But we really appreciate all that you've done, and we know you'll be there to keep an eye on it and help us out. All right, with that, we will take a motion to convene as the McAllister Airport Authority. Motion to include approval of the minutes from the July 8th, 2025 regular meeting of McAllister Airport Authority. Confirm action taken on City Council Agenda Item B and adjourn. Motion, Councilor Gilmore. Second, Councilor Beatty. Cora, would you call the roll?
Counselor Gilmore?
Yes.
Beatty?
Yes.
Roden?
Yes.
Boatright?
Yes.
Woodley?
Yes.
Yes.
Stone? Mayor?
Yes, the motion carries. Now take a motion to convene as the McAllister Public Works Authority. Motion to include approval of minutes from the July 8th, 2025 regular meeting of the McAllister Public Works Authority. Confirm action taken on City Council Agenda Item B and adjourn. Motion, Councilor Stone. Second, Councilor Roden. Cora, would you call the roll?
Counselor Stone?
Yes.
Roden?
Yes.
Gilmore?
Yes.
Woodley?
Yes.
Boatright?
Yes.
Beatty?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes, the motion carries. Now take a motion to convene as the McAllister Retirement Trust Authority. Motion to include approval of minutes from the June 24, 2025 regular meeting of the McAllister Retirement Trust Authority. Approval of minutes from the benefit payments for July 1, 2025 and adjourn. Motion, Councilor Boatright. Second, Councilor Beatty. Cora, would you call the roll?
Counselor Boatright?
Yes.
Beatty?
Yes.
Woodley?
Yes.
Stone?
Yes.
Roden?
Yes.
Gilmore?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes, the motion carries. Now take a motion to convene as the McAllister Economic Development Authority. Motion to include approval of minutes from July 8, 2025 regular meeting of McAllister Economic Development Authority. Confirm action taken on City Council Agenda Item B and adjourn. Motion, Councilor Beatty. Second, Councilor Stone. Cora, would you call the roll?
Vice Mayor Beatty?
Yes.
Stone?
Yes.
Roden?
Yes.
Boatright?
Yes.
Gilmore?
Yes.
Woodley?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes, the motion carries. Now take a motion to enter into executive session concerning employees and representatives of employee groups, specifically the International Association of Firefighters. Motion, Councilor Beatty. Second, Councilor Stone. Cora, would you call the roll?
Vice Mayor Beatty?
Yes.
Counselor Stone?
Yes.
Gilmore?
Yes.
Woodley?
Yes.
Roden?
Yes.
Boatright?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes, the motion carries, and we are now in executive session.
about those.
All right, it is
Ready?
6:44, or 6:44, 7:44, and we are back from executive session.
Point of order, sir.
Yep.
In the absence, we went into executive session at
7:34.
7:34. Mr. Roden had to leave, so he's no longer with us. Just want to make that for the record that he had to go home.
That's excellent, thank you. All right, do we have a motion?
Make a motion, we accept the contract as stated.
Second?
Second.
Motion, Counselor Beatty, second, Counselor Boatright. Cora, would you call the roll?
Vice Mayor Beatty?
Yes.
Counselor Boatright?
Yes.
Gilmore?
Yes.
Woodley? Yes. Stone?
Yes.
Yes, the motion carries. Reminds you to help us control the pet population, have your pet spayed or neutered, and we are adjourned.